Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for August 19th, 2014. I have a great blog planned for you today. We're going to talk NFL two-a-days with the Cowboys and the Giants as we switch over to the NFC. We'll have a look at your hunt for October and your New York sports update. But first we have to get to breaking news just into the blog. Braxton Miller, quarterback for Ohio State, will be out for the season after having shoulder surgery. He injured his shoulder yesterday on a short pass in practice. He was not hit on the play, and he will be replaced by J.T. Barrett, redshirt freshman quarterback of Ohio State. It's going to be interesting to see how Ohio State can rebound from this. I think they have a better chance to make a run at it because of the playoff, but also a team of their caliber. If they get one or two losses in a down Big Ten, they will not be in that playoff picture anyways, because likely in that playoff picture we will see the possible winner of the Big Ten, which could be Michigan State at this point. So I see them still winning probably 10 or 11 games. Definitely they need to get better on the offensive line, and they have to replace their running back who went to the draft in Carlos Hyde, but they will still have a core, and they're going to have to work around J.T. Barrett and see if they can get this guy to play some good football. Really, the two toughest games I see on their schedule, they have a home game against Virginia Tech on September 6th. They have the road game at Michigan State on November 8th. And really the only other tough game I can see is a night game at Penn State on October 25th. And that could be a big game for the freshmen at that point. Alright, time for some NFL two-a-days. Let's first go to the Dallas Cowboys. Last year the Cowboys finished 8-8. They were a very good passing team with Tony Romo, terribly defensively, and what it came down to was Tony Romo got hurt late, and that's why they didn't go to the playoffs. I didn't think they got better in the draft. I give their draft a C+. I think their first pick was not a very good one. They went out and got an offensive lineman, and they did not really diversify any of their picks and didn't get any better. So it's tough to pick them to have a good draft there. Really didn't make any big-time pickups. Their key additions, Rod Marinelli, they bring him in as the defensive coordinator and get Lane Kiffin out of there. Key departures, DeMarcus Ware leaves for Denver, and they also lose wide receiver Miles Austin, and they lost Sean Lee, the linebacker, in training camp. Biggest question I think has to be, can Romo's back hold up all year? I think we could see Romo not play the full season, and with Kyle Orton gone, their backup quarterback is now Brandon Weeden. Ultimately, I think this team is very similar to last year's team. I think Romo plays the whole year, and I have them finishing at 8-8. Alright, time for your Hunt for October update as we head down the home stretch here in Major League Baseball. Let's take a look at your Major League Baseball standings. And in the American League East, Baltimore continues to pull away little by little. They are now up 7.5 in the East. Kansas City in the Central still leads Detroit by 2 games. They're still playing some good ball at 8-2 in their last 10. Angels remain above the Oakland A's. They still do. They are a half-game lead over the Oakland A's. Washington pulling away. Atlanta really struggling. Washington has won 7 in a row, and Atlanta is now 6 games back. In the Central, Milwaukee with a nice 2.5-game lead over St. Louis. Pittsburgh falling off, losers of 6 in a row. And the Dodgers continue to control the West with a 3.5-game lead over the Giants. So the teams that are hot and the teams that are not right now, let's also go to the wild card standings. That's where we'll look at the hot and not. One team that has to be really struggling right now are the Oakland A's. They've lost 5 in a row. Detroit's lost 1. Seattle's lost 1. The Yankees are on a win streak of 2 in the American League Wild Card. And in the National League Wild Card, Pittsburgh has lost 6 in a row, but they're still only 2 games out of the second wild card. Atlanta has now won 4 in a row, and they are starting to play some better baseball as well. We'll keep you updated on all that as we head towards the end of the Major League Baseball season. Alright, time for your second NFL two-a-day, and it comes from the New York Giants. Last year the Giants finished 7-9. They played well late. They had very good defense, but Eli Manning was bad. Draft, I'm going to give them a B+. I like their pickups they got. They got Odell Beckham Jr. in the first round. They also got a late round running back, and Andre Williams out of Boston College. Key additions, they made a lot of moves. They bring in Ben McAdoo as the offensive coordinator. They bring in the cornerback Walter Thurman, safety Quentin Debs, and cornerback Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And their key departures, they lose David Wilson, possibly for his career with injuries, and wide receiver Hakeem Nicks goes to Indianapolis. I think the big question is, can their offensive line get any better? Last year they had an old offensive line transitioning to a young. I think it's going to be a better offensive line. I think Eli will have a better year, and ultimately they will finish at 9-7. All right, time for your New York sports update. Yankees start a 3-game set with the Astros tonight. It's Oberholzer versus Chris Capuano tonight. Oberholzer 4-8, 3.87. Chris Capuano 1-3 with a 4.13. Mets go out west. They play a 2-game set with the A's. Dylan G 4-5 with a 3.69 versus Scott Kazmir 13-5 with a 2.78. Tomorrow we'll be back with more fun on the blog, as we're going to go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, give you a 3-pack of 3 days in a row. We'll talk about the AP poll. We'll look at the Redskins and the Eagles tomorrow in the 2-a-days, and we'll talk about Tiger Woods' most recent decision he's made. Check me out now on sportsmindednews.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the blog and drill. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good rest of the night.